All right, just to talk a little bit about setting up your boat for trolling. If you're going to get into this game, a lot of what you want to do is to have a plan when you decide on rigging your boat for trolling, especially for the Great Lakes, with salmon and trout in mind, as well as walleye for Lake Erie. So generally what you want to do is even though your budget may be somewhat tight and you're really, thinking, well, I can only afford this, so I just want to buy this and then mount it on. Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to cater your mounting of all of your equipment based on your budget at the moment. So what I mean by that is often now we have these tracks that are available, so that now you can put together what you need for the long term. So invest in a track, then mount the track, and then now you can start to build your inventory of equipment that you need in order to get you to your full setup. Essentially what you want is your downrigger to be closest to the stern on your gun wall. And then you're looking at your downrigger rod holder. Sometimes the downrigger itself will have a rod holder, but some people will prefer to have a downrigger rod holder that is a little closer to the action or closer to you, so that you can grab the rod fairly quickly. So that's why we generally have the downrigger rod holder mounted in this location. Then you're looking at your divers, and in this situation I have salties, which are a pretty interesting little mechanism that grips onto your rod and just easily able to pick up your diver rod and place it back into its horizontal position. So your rod holders here for your divers will be on a horizontal position like that, and keeping your rods kind of low in its attitude. This is set up so I can do double divers. I have this one angled up right now just because I'm not doing double divers out here right now. But let's say later on in the season when we're fishing varying depths with two divers on one side, then now I have two diver rod holders in play. Next, then we're looking at something that will hold us our rods that are used for planer boards. So you can see out here we have a inline planer board, and this is on a 10 color lead core line, but it's on the rod tree itself. So this is called a rod tree. It looks obviously by appearance, but essentially all of the working rod holders are these ones pointing outward from the boat. These ones here are actually a nice little opportunity to store your rods. So obviously I'm fishing with this one right now, but if you were just wanting to store some rods, they're forward facing, out of the way, not going to get into the way of rigging and that sort of thing, because they're pointed to the bow. And what you can then get into is in the back of the boat. Often what your visibility is you're watching rods back here, and you really want your information available to you at the back of the boat. So we have our fish hawk. Our fish hawk head unit is here ready for us to see what's going on. We have our sonar unit, again, ability to give us a view down below. Different settings on your electronics you can have, but essentially what we have set up here is the ability to kind of get some great sensitivity. Again, it's a bit on the snowy side, I would say. What I recommend is getting that sensitivity up. You can see that we have a little bait pod up here, up shallow. That could be some interesting coho in that area. And yeah, it gives us a lot of information. Our eyes don't have to move back and forth from the helm back here as much as maybe in a scenario where you only have your electronics on your helm.